Hi, my name is Sandy Wheaton. I live in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and for the last over 10 years I was working in Detroit. Actually, I'd cross the border every day to go to work at General Motors, and I worked as a video producer over there doing satellite distance learning training in the broadcast studios there. We all know what's been happening with GM in the last little while, so recently I was one of the ones who was let go from their job. I was devastated. It's the first time in my life I've ever not worked. I've always been a pretty hard worker and always been kept myself very busy, so it was quite a shock. So anyway, one of the things that I've been doing all of my, well, I'd say the last few years of my work life was on the side. I was getting really serious about photography, and actually all my life I would say if anybody ever said to me, if you could do anything at all that you want to do, what would it be? I would say, well, I want to travel and take pictures because that's all I ever really love to do. But I never thought that was realistic and something that I could ever do for a living. So hence the full-time job and then doing traveling and taking pictures on the side. So it kept me pretty busy for years. Anyway, as soon as I lost my job, um, after the initial shock wore off, one of the positive thoughts that I had was, well, okay, at least now I have some time to do some of the photo projects that I've been wanting to do for a long time and never had time to do. One of those projects was I've always wanted to photograph the entire length of Route 66, all the way from Chicago to Santa Monica. And I had done some of that route before as a photo project, the California stretch, but never had time to do the whole thing because I work full time for a living. So I did some research, just found what kind of a trailer I might be able to tow with my Jeep. I have a small little Jeep, so it was hard to find a good trailer. Found a great little pop-up hardtop trailer, an A-liner, that I could live in during the trip. Put a hitch on my Jeep, researched Route 66, got all my stuff in place, and set up a blog also called pictureroute66.com, which is where I was planning to share the photographs and just some writings about what happened along the trip, to whoever wanted to read it. And planned a few different photo projects. One of them was to photograph Route 66 using this obsolete film that Kodak used to make that no longer makes, which I love, the Kodak black and white infrared film. So my thought was to photograph using this film, an obsolete medium used to photograph an obsolete road, because the film's no longer being made and the road's no longer being used, right? So that was my intention with the project. Originally, that was the main intention. Well, I also did a time-lapse document, so I researched that. I had a camera mounted on my dashboard, and I took a picture with a stills camera every 3 seconds. So those pictures will all be put together into a time-lapse document that's going to move really quickly of the whole Route 66, so maybe about an hour in length, I'm not sure. So that was my other project. So between the black and white portfolio I was shooting on film, plus the time-lapse document, plus the blog, I was actually kept really busy. The surprise to me of this whole trip was, I was just doing this as my own personal project. And I was on the road for almost 2 months, and I couldn't believe the response I got. I mean, people were so into what I was doing. The blog got an amazing response. I ended up getting a bunch of press coverage from different newspaper and television agencies across the country as I traveled. I've had people approach me since the trip to possibly publish a book about my journey on Route 66, all the amazing people that I met, all the interesting stories and stuff. I also ended up getting sponsorship. The trailer company, the A-Liner company, did some limited sponsorship with me, and a company called Campfire in a Can, great little company out of Vegas. And also individuals. I actually got this. Someone gave me this idea, and they wanted to start this program to help me do this trip because they were really into what I was doing. So they started a one-tank sponsorship program whereby they would pay for a tank of my gas. So I set up a little thing on my blog, and said if you want to donate to this one-tank sponsorship program, go ahead. Well, I had all these people, a lot of whom I knew, but some were total strangers, who just I guess enjoyed reading my blog. Sent me money to pay for the gas for the trip. So now that I'm back, my intention is to, I have a home that I bought a few years ago, and I can't afford to keep it without my nice GM paycheck. So my intention is to downsize my life, restructure, sell my home, and and make a living being a travel writer photographer, which is what I've always wanted to do in my life anyway, but never had the nerve to do. Or try to do. So I don't think that I would probably have left the comfort of my well-paying job and the security of that to go follow this kind of dream. But the fact that I was pushed out, gave me the opportunity to follow it, and I was just doing what I love doing, and the response was so positive. So I'm actually feeling really excited about the future, and I feel like I may actually finally, after all these years, I mean, I'm over 40, I may actually be able to do the thing that I've always wanted to do anyways, and just never had the guts to do. So, yeah, I've got a couple of art gallery shows coming up in January. Hoping to be involved with Eric in the Lemonade Project, helping to publish a book, and just start marketing myself and my services. So it's a really exciting time. So I just want to share that with you, and wish me luck. I'll see you out there.